Today's video, I will be sharing with you how I got rid of my fibroids and my 7-day long heavy periods. So if you are new to my channel, I want to say thank you and welcome. If you are returning, I also want to say thank you for returning, and I am so grateful to have you here. If you are enjoying this content, please support my channel by giving this video a thumbs up and interact with me in the comments about some issues that you may be having with fibroids or heavy periods. Let's talk about it. Let's converse. Let me learn from you and you learn from me, because we're here to inspire each other. All right, so first off, I just want to make a disclaimer. I am not a doctor and I am not giving medical advice. I am simply sharing my experience with getting rid of my fibroids and my heavy periods. If this information resonates with you and you find it helpful, then by all means try it out. But I am not recommending for anybody to do the things that I'm doing. I just want to share with you. All right, so I'm going to be looking at my phone here because I made some notes so that I can stay on task and I don't go on rambling about one particular topic. All right, so how I got rid of these fibroids. I was diagnosed with 2 to be exact, and they were both 3 centimeters apiece. I think one was a little bit larger than the other one. And I was also having heavy periods that came with lots of PMS symptoms, irritability, heavy bleeding, back aches, leg thigh cramps, your abdomen, swollen abdomen, look like I'm 4 to 5 months pregnant. And so those things were something I dealt with all my life, and I did not know that I wasn't supposed to not deal with those things. I didn't know that it wasn't normal. I found out that that I had fibroids. I was already about a year, at least 8 months into my plant-based journey. So that helped out a lot because I was getting used to being on this journey and not eating meat and eliminating other foods. So when I found out, the first thing that I did was started eliminating all sugars, all processed foods. I had already gotten meat, dairy, eggs, and fish. All those things I had already eliminated out of my diet. So that was pretty simple for me to do. I just had to tighten up on the little things, and I cut out fast food and start making sure that I was cooking more of my meals and that they were whole food, plant-based meals. So that was the first thing that I did. And just know that these tumors, they feed off of sugars, dairy, and meat. This is what gives them life. So in order to get rid of these tumors, these growth, you have to starve them. That's the only way that you're going to eliminate them, is to starve them, stop giving them what feeds them. And like I said, sugar, dairy, and meat products, along with processed foods, because processed foods have all sorts of hidden sugars and chemicals in them that also feed these tumors. So that's number one. The second thing I did was I started cleaning up the chemicals in my home, because chemicals that we use to clean and also the things that we put on our body disrupts our hormones. So these plug-ins, these chemical sprays that we spray in our bathrooms and in our kitchen to clean, the candles that we burn in our home, they all let off these toxic waste in our house, and we breathe this in, and it goes in through our skin, gets on our skin, and it disrupts our hormones. And that is another culprit for feeding these tumors and having heavy periods, just because of the disruption of the hormone balance. So that was the next thing that I did. I started eliminating, chemical products. I started doing more of plant-based, non-chemical makeup, lotions for my skin. I got down to real simple things like Castile soap for my body wash. And I'm going to be making more content on the things that I do use that are non-toxic, to just show you exactly what I was doing and not just tell you. I'll show you exactly how I'm living now and the products that I use in my home and on my skin. But that's the next thing you're going to want to try, is to eliminate these toxic chemicals in your home, like your washing powder. I'll be making a video on that, laundry powder, your dish detergents, your bathroom cleaners, your kitchen cleaners, your house sprays. You can do things simple as distilled water and some lavender essential oil or lemongrass. These are all beautiful things to make the home smell good and clean and kill bacteria naturally. So more to come on that. And I just want to add to that. And this way of living actually saves you more money, because now that I don't go to the store and buy Clorox wipes, Lysol spray, Pine Sol, Lysol toilet bowl cleaner, plug-ins, Apple Spice candles, Bath and Body Works candles, all these things that I was thinking I needed in my home. Now that I don't buy them, I use one product to clean, and I may add some additional natural products to it, like essential oil or hydrogen peroxide, and I save so much money. So that is the gift of living like this. You don't spend a lot of money. All right. So the next thing that I started doing was I started doing a lot of research. Because I had never heard of fibroid tumors until I was diagnosed with it. I had no earthly idea what they were. And all I knew was that it was something that was going to essentially kill me. When I first found out, I just linked it to cancer. So I really, that's when my journey of herbalism started, because I also started researching how to get rid of them. And along my journey came different herbal remedies that I started using in my life to get rid of, eliminate, detoxify the body of these things. And those herbs that I started using, I'll just give you a few of them, was Vitex. Vitex are chastity berries. I started using that herb, and I used it in a capsule form. Another one was red raspberry. I use red raspberry. It strengthens the uterus. It helps eliminate heavy bleeding. It's just an all-over good reproductive herb. The next thing I did was I started taking blackstrap molasses. It is medicinal molasses that helps eliminate fibroids, and it also helps with hormone balance. Another thing I did was castor oil packs. So I would put castor oil on my abdomen, and I would wrap it, and I would sleep like that overnight, especially when I was on my menstrual cycle. I would wrap myself with the castor oil, and that really helped, along with warm compress when I was on my menstrual cycle. Doing all these things, I really started to notice a difference immediately with my menstrual cycles. I noticed that I wasn't having to take medications anymore. Started noticing that I wasn't having warnings when they were coming. They would just come, and I would go to the bathroom, and I would blow, I'm on my cycle. So no warnings. I started not feeling anything when they started coming. And I want to say as well, I started changing up my pads. So I've never been a tampon user. I don't advocate for using tampons. If that's what you do, that's your thing, do you. But I have to do what's best for me, and they never really work for me. I started changing up my pads, and I started using cotton pads instead of they're full of chemicals. It should not be, and plastics, and that should never go down there where your sweet spot is. You should always make sure that what you're using is chemical free, hasn't been bleached, and cotton if you can find 100% cotton pads, because that is another reason why we are struggling so much with our reproductive organs is because of what we're using down there, to include our soaps, and to include, how we are intimate. These things all affect the way this reproductive system runs. So make sure you clean up your pads if you are experiencing heavy bleeding. Redo your research. There are a few good ones out on the market. Mindset was another thing that I had to change. And when I say mindset, I mean I could have went with what the doctor said as my fate. I have fibroid tumors, and I'm gonna be honest, the doctor didn't give me any type of remedy for these. In fact, the doctor said this was normal, especially in African American women, and it was just something that, I would probably deal with until I hit menopause, and then it would go away. If it did not go away, then they could surgically remove it, or we could think about a hysterectomy, whatever. And all of this information she was giving me, I'm sitting here thinking to myself as I'm sitting in this doctor's office, like, nothing is telling me how I got this, and nothing is telling me how I'm going to get rid of this. And I don't do good with going to a doctor and you can't even tell me how to remedy it. Maybe you can't tell me how I got it, but how to remedy it is a problem for me. So I did not take the diagnosis as my diagnosis. I took the information and I did my own research, and I started doing what was best for me to heal, because I knew surgery was not an option, because there's been many cases where women have fibroids surgically removed and they grow right back. Why? Because they don't change their diets, they don't change the products they're using, they don't change their mindset around the whole situation, and these things are just going to keep coming back because nothing is changing. So I did not accept the diagnosis. In fact, I pretty much told her that I was going to get rid of them naturally, and that's what I meant. It was like I said what I said. She kind of asked me, well, how are you going to do that? And I'm thinking, I'll show you. And that's exactly what I did. So you got to change your mindset. Don't take on this diagnosis as yours. Okay, it's something I'm experiencing right now, but I will get through this, and I'll be on the other side without having to experience fibroids. Okay, so mindset shifts are a major help. If you start shifting your mindset, things will start shifting physically. So I really encourage mindset shift a lot. And I also started my healing journey probably about a year later into that. Actually, I'll say my healing journey started around 2020. So my healing journey came a little later down the road, where I really started going inward in healing opposed to doing everything outwardly. And what that looked like for me is forgiving people that had wronged me, forgiving myself for the shame that I felt around different situations and experiences in my life when it came to relationships, forgiving those men that hurt me or I felt like weren't good enough to me when they were with me, and the things that were done in the relationship. I started letting those things go, and I stopped being a victim with my experience, and I started having an understanding that these experiences were only there to help me, to teach me, and to help me grow, so that I didn't have to keep repeating them. And instead of holding that within my womb, the unforgiveness, because it's attached to intimacy, it's attached to intercourse, we store all of that pain and that hurt within our womb. And so when I started this journey, I also noticed that my periods really started getting lighter and lighter, till now that I'm down to literally like 2 days of bleeding, and then the third day is really just a panty liner type of day, but I'm still releasing, I'm still detoxifying a little, but not enough to be like, oh, I'm still on my cycle full blown. So 3 days, and really I'm only one full day of menses, and it's not even that much to be like, oh my goodness, I'm heavy or any of that. I don't take any medications. I have two different cycles. One cycle, when it comes on, I do have more cravings than I do on the other cycle. The other cycle is, I'm more energetic. I'm more creative. I kind of just want to get out and do things. Versus the other cycle is where my body needs me to relax. It needs me to just rest and not do much of anything, and just kind of give myself some extra loving care. So though I do have two different cycles, and I've had that for quite a while. I picked up on that within the last 3 years, that each cycle, if I have a cycle for February, it's going to be different for March. And so I can kind of gauge like what I'm going to need to be doing for myself in order to nurture my body. And that just comes with time, being in tune with your body, paying attention to what your body, the signals your body are giving you. But incorporating all these things in my life has gotten me to this point in my life where I feel totally great in this body that I'm in. I feel amazing every day that I wake up. I don't wake up in any pain. I don't wake up feeling like I want to be someone else, or I wish I had this, or I wish I had that. I am totally in love with this body, and not in a conceited way, but just finally in a space where I love me unconditionally, and I don't need anything outside of myself to give me that. And that is such a beautiful place to be in life. And that is something that I hope for all of you, is to be able to come home to yourself and tap into that inner healer that's within you, because everybody on the face of this planet has the same capabilities that I have. I'm no special. I have no special abilities. Yes, everybody has their strengths and their weaknesses in different areas of their life, but everybody has an intuition. Everybody has a soul, and everybody can tap into, that soul and be in one accord, be aware of what you need to do to heal what ailments you have within your own body. I'm not saying that doctors are not needed. They have their place, and if I need to go to a doctor, I will go to a doctor. But for me, I am my doctor, and the only time I really need to go to a doctor is if I break a bone, if I cut myself where I need stitches. It should never be because I have underlying health conditions like diabetes, high blood pressure, thyroid conditions, skin issues. Those things should be something that I should be fixing for myself. And that's what I've taken on in this lifetime for myself to do, is to be my own healer, to be my own doctor, and to make sure that I stay connected to my soul so that I have guidance along the way on this journey, and I'm not looking outside of myself. It's already within me. All the answers that I need are already within me. They're already within you. You don't need to look outside of yourself. Just go within. Everything that you need to know is within you, and I mean that. All right, so this video has already been 20 minutes, and I did not want to make it this long, but I did want to help someone out there who may be struggling with heavy periods and fibroids. If you feel like trying any of these tips, please let me know how that works for you down in the comments. If you decide to try any of these tips, if you've tried these tips and some of these things have helped you, let me know down in the comments as well. I'm interested in dialoguing with you guys about this topic, because I do realize this is a major topic. This is a major thing that us women have been dealing with for a long time, and it's time that we take our power back. So with that being said, I leave you guys with much peace and love into the next video. Bye.